Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the IWC proudly brings to you, it's the best wrestling podcast in the world. Pretty Deadly Jesse, Andrew Kombat Jones, the Ringside Renaissance. And if you ain't down with that, Kombat Jones has got 3 words for you.
Ring the bell.
You are now listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast.
We're back for another episode of Ringside Renaissance. And we're here with the RRW Weekly Review for WWE Club Fed. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm here with the best co-host in the world, Pretty Deadly Jesse. Yeah. And I'm Andrew Kombat Jones. Click, clack.
We are here. We are out here today. What is up, Kombat Jones?
Yeah, chilling, ready.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Man, WWE was on fire again this week. The road to the Royal Rumble is officially paved, and now they're just driving down it.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, man. We were talking about it in our live earlier this weekend. I know a lot of people in the IWC have been talking about it, like the amount of people that could possibly win the men's and women's Rumble is just really exciting right now. It seems like the roster for the most part is healthy, minus Bronson Reed's ankles, and we are getting into the Rumble season. I can't wait.
Yeah, and we're healthy. We're here. We aren't being replaced, nor are we bitching like Corey Graves.
We're Pat McAfee guys. We're standing with Pat McAfee.
Yes. Unbelievable. I just can't do it. I just can't deal with it. I don't know.
I think the internet is kind of riling it up more than it is. I'm sure Corey Graves is upset with going to NXT, but NXT is doing great things, and right. He probably wanted to be on the spotlight. I mean, Netflix, it's a worldwide thing going on.
Right.
And at the end of the day, like, who has a better worldwide reach right now, Pat McAfee or Corey Graves? I mean, the decision was just business. It's not personal, and I think he took it personally.
Yeah. But he did put in the work to get to that point, and he has been there kind of since day one, to a sense, right? But yeah. Pat McAfee is the man.
I don't understand why, and we're just putting it down right here. We want to see McAfee versus Graves at WrestleMania, but I don't see why they just wouldn't do a 3-man table with Barrett, Tessitore, and Graves on SmackDown. Like, why not just they have a 3-person team on NXT. Why not just have it on SmackDown? I think that would really work very well, but
right.
It is what it is, I suppose.
Yeah, it's interesting. And one more big announcement we have is that Ringside Renaissance will be declaring and entering themselves for the 2025 Royal Rumble. Yeah.
Book it, Trips.
Yep.
We want our little bingo ball with our number inside it. We don't care if it's 1. We don't care if it's 30. We're going to throw everybody out one by damn one until there's the 2 of us stand. Oh, wait.
Yeah, we'll have to do the tag Royal Rumble. We'll both go over at the same time.
We'll both go over at the same time.
Yeah.
Shout out Bret Hart and Lex Luger. We didn't think that part through. It's gonna be every man for them damn self when it gets down to the final 2. Let's just put it that way.
Fair enough.
That's it. But yeah, so Royal Rumble is coming up. But before that, we have Saturday night's main event, and on Raw we did have the start of the build for the card for Saturday night's main event. I am very excited for that. SmackDown was last Friday. SmackDown is going to be on tonight as of this recording. Looking forward to what's happening tonight. Solo Sikoa is going to make his return tonight. Will he acknowledge the tribal chief Roman Reigns? Because he said, if you remember, when they set up this tribal combat, that if he loses, he would acknowledge Roman Reigns. So is that just a red herring? Where is Tonga Loa, and why is his bicep not healed yet? Because we need him to have a return. A lot of big things. That will be a big
one.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be.
That's huge.
Imagine the pop when he comes back.
Yes.
I can't wait. But
Watch out, Penta.
Watch out, Penta. He's coming for you. But yeah, SmackDown was last Friday night. Wasn't a whole. I mean, the 3 hours I think really kind of makes it drag a little bit. It's still kind of full. They get their stories and points across. Oh, but another big point that got brought up on this past Raw that I want to bring up: the Wyatt Six are no longer on WWE Raw. They have been not downgraded, but moved to SmackDown.
Yes.
Interesting decision. I don't understand what it was for, but I'm for it.
I guess Netflix just doesn't want to be hacked and isn't having any hacks, and they do not want any hacks in any streaming services, and their antivirus is up to date, I guess, on their server, so they will not be hacked.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Let us know in the comments. I think people across the pond are already getting SmackDown on Netflix. Because I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they have a TV deal over there. But I thought I was told. Oh no, I think the PLEs are going to be on Netflix over there now. Because they used to have the WWE Network over there, but they don't have the network anymore. So I think the PLEs are over there. I'm sorry, correct me if I'm
that's interesting.
Wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, because they don't have Peacock over there, so they had all of their PLEs through the WWE Network, which is now no longer in existence. So we'll see what happens. But yes, I think we're not going to go into great lengths about how we feel about the Wyatt Six anyway, but. I think it's kind of comical that we were told for like 2 weeks they were supposed to have like an 8-man tag or something on Raw on Netflix. They did not have that match, and then they end up getting moved over to SmackDown. It's really funny to see how that played out.
It's a good place for them. Good place for them.
Just put them in NXT while we're at it. Actually, move them over to AEW while we're at it. That is.
Oof, Lord have mercy. Talk about AEW, for a second. I mean, this last Dynamite was. How about Jeff Jarrett and MJF?
Now, I have an issue with that because, and this has been all over the internet. This isn't an original thought, but like the whole line about Owen Hart's death, I thought was very low. I thought it was very bad taste. I mean, they're trying to celebrate Owen Hart's life with the Owen Hart Cup over there and stuff, and everybody knows of Owen's wife's contention with the WWE because of what happened. Now, to be able to throw that line out there when they're working with her, I don't care if she approved of it or not. I just didn't agree with it.
Yeah, and like that promo between Jeff and MJF, it seemed like they were kind of trying to like rekindle and like reminisce and bring back the Punk MJF promo that they had. They're kind of standing at, opposite sides of the ring and throwing shots, but I'll give it to Jeff Jarrett. He threw some jabs in there I didn't see coming for him.
What did you think about? Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Calling out MJF's mom, calling her a call girl, and like people. I guess people weren't happy about that either, saying that was in bad taste. But I mean,
AEW's in bad taste right now.
They're the same people that, if you looked up their credit card, probably has an OnlyFans subscription on it somewhere. So
more than one.
I don't want to hear it. Yeah, it was funny. It was compelling. It was entertaining. It made me laugh. It caught my attention.
What did you think about the world title match with Moxley and Will Hobbs? And Will Hobbs apparently is a vampire from 1722 because he bit Moxley and made him bleed.
Yeah.
It was like, what?
You got to find a new way to make Moxley bleed.
What a baby face move.
Nosferatu. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's getting harder to watch every week. And apparently the ratings are going up. So I really can't say anything about that. But I love when they hit over 600,000 average and AEW fans go, we told you. We told you. It's like,
did you see the size of that arena they were in?
Yeah, it looks like a performance center. Yeah.
It was almost 1/100th the size of Wembley Stadium.
I love all the AEW shills that put down the NXT during the Wednesday Night War and all this different stuff. And then they were going on about, it's just a what do you call it? Preliminary league to WWE, and they're in a performance center. Look how little people are there every week. And then they move to venues like this, and they're like, it looks great in there. It looks amazing. The smaller venues make it look good.
And Ricochet loves the scissor. Yes. We know that now.
I'm tired of him.
Oh, I hope Swerve just runs him over, because he swerves when he drives.
He didn't. Yeah, he stomped him to run him over.
Yeah. He had him slipping down the road in the snow. He was ducking shots. He was crawling under cars.
He was ducking shots.
It was like they were outside.
Yeah, AEW to me is just getting harder and harder to watch. I understand people have their fandom for it, and we have fandom for it, and I continue to watch. But I'm just yeah. So a lot of great things have happened. It's a beautiful thing.
Lots of great things for AEW.
But why don't we? Yeah, a lot of great. How you doing over there?
Damn connection issues.
All right. Why don't we get into SmackDown? Like we were talking about. So the wise man was talking in the ring, and he declared Roman Reigns for the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Cody came out to confront him and asked what he wanted to talk about, and he was cut off by Kevin Owens from the crowd, and Bloodline came out, and Jimmy came out. It's a bunch of this. I think they're taking a couple pages from AEW with everybody just running in. It's like, okay. But that's how SmackDown started off. We do have Roman Reigns in the Royal Rumble. So now we'll talk about it with Raw, but some of the people that have declared for the Rumble so far, it's a who's who of who's going to win. And I like that. I kind of like not having just one, maybe two front runners. There's a whole list of people that could potentially win it.
Yes.
And we're not going to do our predictions until right before the Royal Rumble, but there is one person that might be returning that might throw a wrench in the equation. The phenomenal one, AJ Styles, has not been around in quite a while. What's true. The status on him? No one said anything about him.
That's true. I wasn't even thinking about AJ Styles. Wonder where he lands.
Hopefully not on his knee again.
True. But will he be back? Will he take sides with Cody Rhodes, or will he join the KO Alliance?
You think that's really going to happen? Is that the fifth man?
That's true. That's true.
That's in this whole alliance.
That's true. Yeah.
We got it figured out now. All right, man. Tune into Ringside Renaissance for more spoilers. It's not a prediction; it's a spoiler.
I mean, for the Royal Rumble though, I feel like there's like 5 names that could win. 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I mean that
really have a shot. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's interesting. Probably the same 5 guys or so that have the shot that might be on the cover of WWE 2K25.
You never know. Whoever's on the cover is going to win the Rumble. Let's keep our eyes out for that.
Yeah.
If it's Chad Gable, I'm going to laugh. Yeah, Chelsea Green defended her United States title for the first time against Mi Chin. This is just a lot of the same shit. I like Mi Chin, but find some other challengers for her. If you're going to have a mid-card title and try to present it and spotlight it as up-and-coming title for women's wrestler, have some more women challenge for it. Don't have it be the same person every week.
Right.
I understand the rematch because of Piper Niven's involvement in the inaugural match, but it just didn't do it for me.
No.
Pretty Deadly faced Los Garzas, Legado del Fantasma, whatever this is.
Yeah.
I'm about tired of not getting Pretty Deadly's entrance on TV, and I'm pretty tired of them losing every week. Like,
yeah, why they got to give the other guys the entrance?
Exactly. Why are we trying to spotlight them? But what I do like about this is, like, during the match, like, what was it? Kit Wilson, was it?
Yeah.
Was like looking to the ramp and like yelling for DIY to come help him, and DIY didn't come help the other team. I'm gonna butcher their name again, so I'm not gonna say it. They won, but then they had Pretty Deadly backstage with DIY and asking them, hey, we scratched your back, why didn't you scratch ours? And I think this might be the start of a Pretty Deadly babyface turn.
I was thinking so, because they had lost a match too and all that. So the way it went, it kind of seems like it. Yeah.
Yo,
I hope so.
Babyface Pretty Deadly with the titles.
Center stage.
Let's get it. Oh, I can't wait. Like, I've been going with this surname for 8 months now?
Yes.
With no payoff.
That's true. No payoff. Yeah.
And I said it before and I backed out on it, but I'm going to say it like in solid in stone and like quote me on this and make sure people like bookmark this. When, not if, when Pretty Deadly win the tag team titles, that crop top shirt is coming out.
Okay.
It's gonna happen.
All right.
And if I don't have one, I will cut one of my shirts to crop top it.
All right.
So Pretty Deadly, get on your shit, because I really want to wear that thing and show off my dad bod.
Book it.
Yeah. Nakamura versus LA Knight, the rematch for the United States title. LA Knight is a superstar. I could actually put him in as another person to potentially win the Rumble, like a dark horse to win it.
Yeah. Why not?
We've been swerved sometimes with people that we don't expect. Like, just when we expect like the certain people, another person comes in, a la Batista. But man, LA Knight's a superstar, and he faced Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura is kind of, I feel like that's like in some people's search engine on Pornhub or X videos, like the way he looks right now. I think that's kind of a fetish thing. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not 100% on it, but I could see some people searching that in their incognito and then deleting it very quickly.
Oh yeah. Something with a mask on or something, right?
Yeah. Like running makeup or
something
of the
true.
like, I don't know.
Yeah.
The Asian market is big in that to begin with, but I really thought LA Knight was going to win this match. It built it up like LA Knight was going to win, but he didn't win.
Yeah.
Is it the Bloodline still? Is Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu? They're running wild on you, brother. Because they are unhinged and they are pissed off.
Yeah, I'm sure Solo will be back. I don't think he's going to acknowledge Roman.
Really?
Do you think he's going to join him and acknowledge him?
I think he's going to acknowledge him. Then Jacob and Tama are going to jump him.
Oh, they're going to jump Solo.
Yeah, and it's going to put the whole original Bloodline back together.
Okay. I wouldn't be mad at that, I guess. About time. Because if not, it would kind of just be the same old song and dance.
Yeah. Then Solo's got to prove himself again as the enforcer. That'll set up, if Rock doesn't have this super group, it'll set up the Rock's bloodline with Jacob, Tama, Tonga Loa when he returns.
Yeah.
The amount of steroids he takes, his rocks must be pebbles by now, because he was just getting his veins up for when he went backstage to get another. I'm not saying it. Yeah. So that set up Jay and Cody came out and ran them off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thought we were over that, Kombat Jones. You want to tell me something?
Nope.
Okay. So it set up Cody and Jimmy versus Jacob and Tama Tonga at the end of the night.
Yeah.
same old song and dance. Cody is still involved with the Bloodline storyline, even though he said he wasn't going to be involved with it.
Yeah.
Man, it's like, I think they know what direction they're going to with like the big PLEs and Royal Rumble and WrestleMania and then War Games in the past. But like the road to get there just seems really bumpy sometimes. Just a lot of the same old, same old.
Yeah, especially with SmackDown and with Cody Rhodes and kind of what they're doing now. It's like, how do they move forward? Who's going to become this alliance now? It's like they need it. It has to happen at this point.
Yeah. Maybe Saturday night's main event is when it's going to be revealed.
Yeah. There's so many like crossing storylines and stuff going on with it's a lot of yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Triple H, don't become the Wyatt universe and have nothing make sense. You got to kind of start bringing it back together, brother.
Yeah.
Bayley won a fatal 4-way match, I believe, to become the number 1 contender for Tiffy Time's title.
Yes, and that immediately sent her to NXT to face off against Roxanne Perez.
Yeah. What a better way to say Bayley was not going to beat Tiffany Stratton than to start a feud with Roxanne Perez before you even have the match with Tiffany Stratton. That's a really good point. I didn't think about that.
I wonder if that's going to bring I think Roxanne Perez will cost her that match against Tiffany Stratton, and that will help bring Roxanne Perez onto the main roster.
Okay, I'm here for it. That's cool. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
BBL Bayley.
High face Roxanne.
Yeah.
High face Roxanne. Yeah, that's actually a good point. You don't have to put on the red light.
Yeah.
Ugh. Just keep her off a microphone. So Bayley's number 1 contender for Tiffany Stratton's title. I don't know if it was announced when that match was going to be. Maybe Saturday night's main event. I don't really know, but
it was probably next week or the week after or something. Yeah, I think
okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't really pay attention to that, but I was zoned out by this. Those 3-hour SmackDowns really kind of take me out of it. Like the little minor details, I'll sit there and watch, and then I'll just be like, "Wait, what did they just say?" I have no clue. So the main event was Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga in a tag team match. And you yeeting over there?
Yes, I am.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, this camera is something special, man. I was gonna go the whole episode not bringing it up, but the fans see it. They know what's up. It was cooler before. So there's a lot of the same old song and dance. They were fighting. Cody and Jay started getting the upper hand. Kevin Owens came out and fought off Cody Rhodes to the back.
Yep.
There was a double team between Tama and Jacob on Jimmy Uso, and I believe Jacob got the moonsault on Jey Uso. 1, 2, 3, and
that's what it is.
Trying to rebuild some of their. I was waiting for that. That was SmackDown. Like I said, there was a lot. I'm not gonna say I hate the term "nothing burger." I hate that. I can't stand when people say it. But there really wasn't a lot of substance there. You say it a lot?
I say you say it a lot for not liking it.
I say nothing burger?
Yes.
Really?
I've heard you say it before on this podcast.
Oh my god. I'm gonna have to eat my words then, because man,
that burger. As long as it's not a Whataburger.
I have to eat that.
I'll take a nothing burger over a Whataburger any day. Even though I heard it's pretty good.
Is it? Yeah.
I'd rather have 5 guys.
Oh, man. At one time.
I heard the White 6 tried to go to 5 guys, but there were one too many.
There's one too many.
Dad joke.
They're one too short. There's only 4 guys and 1 girl.
Technically, I mean, yeah.
Dad joke. Man, oh man, what a great time. We had more fun here talking about SmackDown than I did watching it. I'm just playing. It wasn't a nothing burger. It was, it's setting up. And like I said, I get so pumped up and we're juiced up ever since Saturday night's main event or even Survivor Series. I've been pumped up for the Royal Rumble and what's going to unfold there, that I think sometimes I kind of write off these shows as being not as big or not as important as they are.
Right.
But I really, I'm really kind of liking the direction they're going in. I know a lot of people are kind of about it, and haters are going to hate, but
yeah,
I think
Roman's still kind of just doing his part-time thing, it seems like, honestly, with the whole Roman thing, and people like, oh, he's gonna win the Royal Rumble, or they want him to win, or they want him to do this or that. Like, I personally think that some of these people may be right, and if he does get the gold back, he's gonna revert back to his old ways.
That'd be a good story, though.
I think he likes the power. He's kind, and you're sitting at the head of the table, and everybody got to acknowledge you again. Like, how else does that sound?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in the words of Luis Elizondo, a great leader never says I or me, and he says acknowledge me. So
exactly, that's what like.
Not a great leader. But SmackDown was over, and guess what? That's not what everybody's here to talk about. We're here to talk about what happens the following Monday on Netflix. So why don't we play a great guitar riff, and I can do a little bit of headbanging while my neck is still in one piece, and we can move on over to Monday night. Welcome to Monday Night Raw. I think we finally nailed that. Raw on Netflix was in San Jose, California. It kicked off with a vengeance with the Second City Saint, the voice of the voiceless, CM Punk.
CM Punk. CM Punk. Yeah, what an opening it was, too, because the crowd was chanting his name. His Suburban, his vehicle was pulling up. He got out to his chant and walked through, pumped up, and set the show on fire.
Woo.
No pun intended there.
Yeah.
Pardon my words. Yeah.
So, so he came out to a great pop in San Jose, declaring himself for the Royal Rumble. What a great crowd. And, telling them he's going to throw 30 people over the top rope. He is going to go to WrestleMania and get that one thing, that monkey off his back. The main event at WrestleMania was going to become his. Yeah. And
he showed some love. He showed some love too when he got out there talking about everybody. Thanks for the showing up, and it's bigger than that. And for everybody volunteering, and for the fires in California, of course, because that's where they was in California. So then he got the business, like he said. But
and shout out to everybody.
Good of him. Yeah,
shout out to everybody going through it out there and all the helpers as well. That's a crazy situation, regardless of how you feel about how it started, what happened with it, whatever. That's unimportant. What's important is people are, make sure people are safe and taking care of people and stuff. So, he said his business with Seth Rollins was done and he was moving to the Rumble, but I guess Seth Rollins wasn't done with his business with.
Well, he also mentioned John Cena.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That was really good too.
We got a couple John Cena Easter eggs he kind of dropped in there with not seeing them, but he's seen them his whole career, and he's gonna throw everybody out.
Oh, it's gonna be
it's
gonna be who the Final Four is gonna be. Man, it's just good. My brain goes every time we try to talk about wrestling, like in the now. My brain just goes to like what's gonna happen at the Rumble.
Yep. Same.
Yeah, so Seth Rollins came out a little bit stoic, a little bit maybe depressed, and he was just not over the fact that CM Punk did beat him the previous week on SmackDown, or on Raw, I'm sorry, and he declared himself for the Royal Rumble as well, and he said his job was he was going to eliminate CM Punk. Take it away.
I'd rather be the worst version of myself than any version of you. Phil.
His voice gets me. So he declared himself for the Royal Rumble, and then we get a voice from the past of CM Punk's, Drew McIntyre comes out to declare himself as well for the Royal Rumble.
Ooh, and when he came out, Punk was like, you don't want to do this again. You don't want to start. Last time I seen you, you were on your knees pleading for life. Blood was running down your face. And
what did he say? Next time it's going to take a lot more than 15 staples to put you back together or something.
Yeah,
It's like, oh yeah, Punk was fired up about that.
Yeah. Well, I know you like to think everything's about you.
Yeah, but he was talking about Seth.
But I wasn't talking to you, Punk.
Drew McIntyre is in his bag right now, man. If anybody objectively just looks at wrestling and doesn't think Drew McIntyre is probably one of, if not like a top, I'm not going to say like over with the crowd or whatever, but just like a top performer in professional wrestling right now. Like you really have to get yourself checked because he is just on fire. He's just lighting it up right now. I mean,
and he's one of the best heels that's not getting cheered too, because they're doing such a good job at being a heel also, when you think kind of around the board, like, so
he's real good. I'm really impressed with him. I think he's really just gone up to another level, and shout out to Punk for, I don't want to say bringing that out in him, but like the feud with him and Punk is what really was able to give Drew that platform to step up and show that he's got still has what it takes, because he's been on top of the game since 2020. He's been really one of the top guys.
Yeah, and I thought we were going to get fisticuffs with Punk and Seth again in the ring first, and then Drew had came out, and then we thought they were all going to go at it, and Drew pulled the old heel card out, the old MJF card out, and said, okay, nope, not doing it.
Nope. Done with it.
I see, this is the thing with these guys, and God, we could get a triple threat at WrestleMania between Punk, Seth, and Drew. We could get a triple threat at Saturday Night Main Event between the three. Like, at some point, it's going to happen now.
Punk, Seth, and Drew triple threat main event Mania, and then the other night it would be Cody, KO, and Orton triple threat. We got 2 triple threat main events at Mania. Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I think it would be smart to kind of the Saturday Night Main Event is before the Rumble. If you could put those 3 in there together, triple threat. I don't know. It might be. Is that too big of a match for a Saturday Night Main Event?
I don't think so.
No, I would like to see it happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. The only risk with that is, like, I think they're going a lot of these top stars, especially the ones that have a potential to win the Rumble, we're going to see them probably in as minimal as actual matches as possible to make sure they stay healthy and
to get that,
because you don't want to risk going in a triple threat and have somebody taking a bad backdrop, and so I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I agree with that. Right, that jot that down. A triple threat at Saturday Night's Main Event. That would be great. I don't know if you saw after Punk. I don't know if it was after the show or after this segment when he went through the crowd and he choked out a certain fan in the crowd.
He did. That guy. I guess it was his wish, make a wish to end up like the scapegoat, Jack Perry. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh, really? That's what his wish was.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Said, like, John Cena come visit you here or there, make a wish. His one wish was to get the guillotine by CM Punk.
Man, oh man.
He still got it, apparently. For backstage stuff,
Yeah. He doesn't do it backstage anymore. He does it front stage.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then seeing, like, with CM Punk, the stuff on social media with, like, Rancid and Lars Frederiksen, right, is really cool. And I was just watching because they had put everything kind of back on the networks again, so I rewatched the CM Punk Best in the World documentary from, I think, 2011, and it kind of pertains to us in a sense, because he had showed up and went to the Rancid show, which is, of course, one of the greatest bands in the world, punk rock bands of all time. Yeah, and he had went to the Rancid show, and it actually happened to be at Northern Lights in Clifton Park, New York.
Oh,
and he
really?
was backstage watching it. Yeah, if you go back and watch the documentary, he's there. Yep, watching.
Okay, shout out Clifton Park. That's like 20 minutes away from me. I didn't know
the old
that
Northern Lights music venue. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome because we've been to a few Rancid shows. I even pointed out before. I don't know if you remember this or not, but in 2004, the Warp Tour we went to, we saw Lars Fredrickson and the Bastards. Shout out.
Yep.
And you can actually see there. Remember, there was a big circle pit around like the music or the sound tent, and it was just a gnarly ass time. And
yep. I went the year before too, and then Rancid was performing the year before too. It was just a crazy experience. Experience Rancid for the first time, and experience like a real punk rock show, and see people with spiked mohawks and the leather and the everything. It was crazy.
Such a beautiful experience, man.
Yeah.
Once, we talked about it before, but like once I kind of, my life had gone down the tubes for a while. And once I kind of got my life back together, my first concert that I went to after I straightened myself out and stuff was actually Rancid and Dropkick Murphys, the first Boston to Berkeley tour. And was just a beautiful show. Bouncing Souls opened for them. Yeah, just a great time, great experience. Shout out Lars Fredrickson, like we're huge fans, and we appreciate you and the rest of the guys and the contributions you've had in our life. As much as CM Punk and pro wrestling has, punk rock has had a big impact in our lives growing up, and shout out to you for that.
It's cool. One of our favorite wrestlers is like best friends with one of our favorite bands.
Yeah, it's
just happened. I always wondered how you think CM Punk feels about Blink-182. You think he a fan, or you think they're a little too pop punky for him?
Maybe a little bit too Southern California for him.
I always wondered. That's if like I had an interview to CM Punk, I would go off the cuff. I would ask him, "What's your top 5 rappers of all time?"
Okay.
I would say, "How do you feel about Blink-182? How do you feel about the UAP situation?" Like,
okay.
Yeah. I got the questions nobody else is going to ask.
And how do you feel about how we used to be a train wreck, but now we don't do anything? Do you consider us straight edge? You have to be straight edge from the beginning. Let us know in the comments. Shout out CM Punk, shout out Lars Fredrickson. Thanks again for all your contributions to our lives and the influence you've had in our lives growing up. It really means a whole lot. But the next thing is what the whole internet was abuzz about. Everybody was talking about it. The worst kept secret in pro wrestling. Chad Gable came out to the ring to face a luchador of Adam Pearce's choice. Ooh. And who do we get? Penta Estero Miedo.
Yeah. And his mask dropped earlier that morning on WWEshop.com. Yeah. Cool, though.
Everybody knew.
Knew. It's good that Michael Cole kind of alluded that it was the worst kept secret because of all that and all the rumblings and stuff like that. So, but man, I was blown away. I thought he looked great. Pause. I thought it was good.
And shout out to Chad Gable too, because it takes 2 to tango. And Chad Gable is an amazing in-ring performer. Like, you can't take that away from the guy. He's had a lot of bumps in the road, but like a lot of Penta looking so good in this, I think was credit to Chad Gable. And but yeah, I loved how the crowd was into it. They knew what to do and when. It showed his daughter in the front row crying when he came out.
Cool. That was cool. His whole family was there, and they were very emotional. And like you said, his daughter was there in tears half the time, like watching them. And it was cool. I really liked it, and I enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed that, and I appreciated that the crowd knew who he was, or if not, took the time to look him up, and they were ready for him. You saw those masks and those shirts all around the crowd. So I'm really happy for him for that too, because he deserves it. Shit.
I think the only thing that would have made it better is if his brother would have been able to be there and experience the debut with him. Hashtag free Ray.
Yeah, free Ray.
Free Phoenix.
Yeah.
But that would have just put it over the top for him. But yeah, it was a solid match to debut him. I think he's still got some. I think when in the WWE, he can be able to kind of be produced a little bit to where he can put on more solid, like WWE style matches while keeping his
His style.
His
move set.
Oh, yeah.
Whoops. Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying they don't want to see him with Rey Mysterio. I want to see him with Rey Mysterio because Rey could almost move into like a manager type role for him,
right,
and kind of move away from the in-ring stuff because post match, Penta thanked the crowd and stuff, but he had to do a lot of it in Spanish because of his lack of English. But like having Rey Mysterio with him to kind of be his mouthpiece, I think would kind of having an established Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio be his mouthpiece, I think would be very beneficial to him moving forward. And the casual WWE fan that doesn't know Penta, they see him aligned with Rey Mysterio, automatically they must think, oh, he's a big time player.
Right. And we had all types of, people were wondering about what he was going to do for his move set. And I like because Finn Balor does the swing,
Sling blade, yeah.
Swing blade, right? So Penta normally did the swing blade in AEW, but he did a reverse swing blade, pretty much, which I thought was cool. He did a lot of the same stuff, a little bit, but not really. And I think he proved himself that he can sell too.
Yes,
compared to what he did in AEW. Like Chad did a number on his ankle for sure, and he was still able to pull through and make it look good and still flip around, even though Chad tore that ankle up. So it was good back and forth too, and I think it was cool. It wasn't just kind of like come in and be like a squash match. Like
yes,
it put him over more in a way.
It was a competitive match. Yeah. I like that it was competitive. And like, boy, oh boy, you thought his ankle was broken when Chad Gable wrapped it off that ring post. It was like, oh my goodness, man. Man, it looked like he got shot as much as he was selling. They had the Mexican Destroyer that Michael Cole called it.
Oh yeah, he popped. The crowd. It was very cool to see the crowd and some of like the younger audience too. When they saw that, they popped and they couldn't believe it because it's like they never saw that move before.
Yeah,
which was really cool, which made me like pop because I was like, that's awesome.
And the sell from Chad Gable was just unbelievable. Then he got the finish with the Penta driver, I believe it's called 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Great debut match. He's so marketable because of his look, his image, the mask. I think he's just gonna do wonders in WWE. And people online saying, oh, AEW made him, just like people saying AEW made Ricky Starks. Like, these guys made themselves. Like, I'm not, they probably got more exposed in a national market because of AEW, but like, you know what, these guys make themselves. Like, Penta had a great career in AAA and Lucha Underground, as did Ricky Starks in NWA and various other organizations. Like, these guys make themselves. Like, I'm tired of this narrative that the company makes the person makes himself, the company makes him more marketable and more palatable for the fan. But I was really impressed with it. I didn't know how it was going to go.
It was better than I expected. Than how I perceived it was going to go or could have ever thought. So we'll see where they go with him with all of that now.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens.
You'd mentioned Ricky Starks, though. We had a little run-in with Ricky Starks.
Ricky, we saw you liked our post, man.
Yes.
You can unlike it. you can try to hide the fact.
We got the evidence. Maybe he tapped it on accident, but he was watching, and he agreed. He knows what's up. He knows we support him, and the people just want to free Ricky Starks so he can return and join as one of his great friends, WWE Universal Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Dark horse for Royal Rumble winner Ricky Starks debuts to win and challenge Cody at WrestleMania. Book it, Trips. We had more Judgment Day problems backstage. A little rift there.
I forgot my flowers.
Oh, Jesus. Dominic was upset. I couldn't remember why Liv would be upset, but remember after Rhea won the title back, Dominic tried to like reunite with her last week after the match. And Liv wasn't too happy about that.
The gold digger. They're calling him a gold digger.
Hey, if the shoe fits, man. If the shoe fits. De Oro. How do you say digger? De Oro is gold, right? Yeah. So it is what it is. Liv's not having it. Finn was kind of ribbing him a little bit. I think they're trying to build to a Finn Dominic match, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
Which would push Dominic to babyface status. I cannot wait for that.
And Liv again with some A+ acting. Oh no, I'm not mad at you at all. I'm not mad at you at all, Dom. Everything's good. Go get my bags out the car, bitch.
Like, that was such great acting.
She had everybody fooled except him. Yeah.
Boy, oh boy. That was so terrible, bro.
Even Carlito knew the deal. Yeah, you can't get nothing past him,
What did she call him? Carly? Carly, put these somewhere. I'm like, oh my God, dude. I can't wait. I cannot wait until she's not on our TV anymore. It's
Dom ended it back up with them flowers, too.
I'm over the Judgment Day stuff. I think the WWE realizes that that's kind of ran its course, and I think they're kind of starting to plant the seeds to split this up. And
time to split it up, and time to do something with Dom and Finn and whoever. And people are kind of over JD.
Dominic defeats Braun Breaker to become the IC champion.
Oh baby, yeah.
Man, oh man. Anyway, I want to say fantasy booking, but I want to keep talking about saying I'm doing fantasy with guys in my head. Get it? Jey Uso came out and challenged Gunther for the World Heavyweight title. It's going to be at Saturday night's main event.
Made a compelling case, even though it is what it is. Yeah.
Gunther is just not going to lose that title. I'm sorry, but that would put Jey in a position to potentially be in the Royal Rumble this year as another potential winner.
Yeah. Another potential person that could be on the cover of 2K25.
Okay. Is CM Punk on the cover? Is that what you're alluding to? Is what?
I hope so. I wish, and I hope it's like a CM Punk story where you go back and relive all his matches, kind of like they did. But I'm leaning towards more in reality that it's probably Roman Reigns or maybe The Rock or something like that.
Would you be able to relive CM Punk's time in AEW?
Hopefully
would you be able to relive the choke out?
I hope so. Yeah, and then
or him
the locker room brawl
with one arm.
Yes, that would be the best time. Yeah,
that would be great. And you can, instead of using the Young Bucks, you can use Pretty Deadly, like their characters, for the whole thing.
Would they put Vince back in the game and let him blow the kiss to Vince?
It's going to be Mince Vic Man. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, so now we're going to break it down real quick. So we have Roman Reigns in the Rumble, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, potentially Jey Uso, John Cena.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to win? Possibly a returning Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Man. Boy, oh boy.
You know who else we're going to get to? Because they announced their merger. I'm pretty sure it's official. Dun, dun. I believe in Joe Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Book it. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
He's going to get the pop. I don't care if we haven't heard him as much. Once he hits WWE and he comes over, he's going to be right back to where the crowd left off with him, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, he ain't gonna win, but
no, he's a mid-carder or something.
Yeah. Unless you believe in him. Then we had the women's. We had the women's IC title finals. Dakota Kai versus Lyra Valkyria. I thought was a hard-hitting.
Yeah.
Great match, a great showing for both these ladies. The suplex from the apron all the way to the outside on the floor was just incredible to me. Neither of them pulled their legs for it or nothing. They just landed hard back on the floor. It was tough.
Yeah, you could tell they were going all out and definitely trying to put on a show.
Yes.
And going in, I wasn't sure who was going to win. I know you were rooting for Lyra. I was rooting for Dakota, I guess, for the most part, but I wasn't mad at it at all.
I wasn't mad either. Like you said, because of how good how into the match I was.
Yeah.
I really think I would have been satisfied with either person winning. Obviously, I'm a Lyra Valkyria fan. I'm very glad she won the title.
Yep.
I do think this opens up her versus Becky Lynch and Becky Lynch's return, which makes a lot of sense. But yeah, shout out Lyra Valkyria for winning the first ever women's IC title. Great. You could tell she was so excited. Like, I think she understood the moment and it wasn't like too big for her, but she, her emotion showed through. And I like seeing emotion in wrestling too. Genuine emotion.
Yeah, I agree. I like the way they pulled it off, and I think she looked great with the title. And yeah, makes sense now.
Did you pull it off during the match?
It was still attached.
Okay.
Barely. Yeah.
The barely sold it for me. Okay. Sami Zayn defeated The Miz with a Blue Thunder Bomb. I saw people going more crazy about Sami Zayn winning with a Blue Thunder Bomb than people happy that Lyra Valkyria won the IC title. Like, this was huge for people.
And it was a funny little promo they had backstage with Karrion Kross and The Miz, and when they were coming out of Adam Pearce's locker room, and Sammy had bumped into him to set up that match. Karrion Kross is
good.
I don't know at what point he just stopped annoying me, and like I didn't like him, and now he just becomes so much better. I don't know.
As
his
soon
personality,
as he beat up the Wyatt sucks.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and then he kind of alluded in an interview that he wanted to go after Pepsi Phil too.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's his dream. He put it out in the atmosphere. Out in
Karrion Kross winning the Rumble. Screw it. Who cares? Let's do it. Yeah, like I said, this match is, it's two veterans in the ring, and
right.
I really like Sami Zayn. I think he's just kind of found his spot in the roster of kind of just being that underneath baby face. Never really going to get the on top of the mountain, as it were, but he doesn't need to because he's doing what he loves, and I'm sure making a damn good living doing it.
And Karrion and The Miz made a great point too about him following Roman and the Bloodline, and him always looking out for other people other than himself, and not, when are you finally going to do something for yourself, right? I think Seth kind of alluded to it too, and yeah,
isn't that
I was like,
funny?
good point. It's a good point.
Is that foreshadowing? Is Sammy going to throw Roman out in the Rumble?
Could we get a turn? Could we get him throwing him out? It's very possible.
Oh.
Could you even blame him at this? At some point you got to do what's right for you without even turning heel too. I don't know.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Nia Jax came out, seemed to challenge Rhea Ripley for the world title. I'm over Nia Jax. Bring somebody else in. She had her time in the sun. Her and Liv kind of ran the women's divisions respectively for the last 8-9 months. All right, it's time for somebody else for me. And the main event was Damian versus Finn in a street fight.
Yeah.
A lot of the same shit, man.
I wasn't really into it. I mean, I thought it was decent, I guess, for what it was, and they brought out as much as they really could, but it's just the same stuff. Damian versus Finn again. We're kind of over it.
Yeah, and I also don't like that Finn kept losing. I felt like he should have at least gotten one win in this whole thing. The fact that Damian keeps winning, but neither one of them are progressing anywhere is kind of just like stale to me.
All rise.
I think they should have had the women's IC title as the main event of this night. I think it would have sent people home. And I know a lot of people weren't sent home or at home happy because Raw ended after like 2.5 hours this week. And a lot of people were upset about it.
Blame it on Penta for going on his rant after he won, that they ran out of time, and allegedly backstage people were saying that they weren't happy because he went on his long rant and they had to cut their time short. But how does that work? Because Netflix, they said when they get on Netflix that their time isn't going to be cut short. So it doesn't.
That doesn't make sense because if Penta ran long, then it wouldn't have went over 3 hours, but it still went 2.5 hours. So their stuff didn't get cut because of Penta.
They're just trying to start.
Start
Shit.
something that's not there. Yeah, you know who it is.
Yeah.
You know who it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I said, I hope the whole Finn Damian thing's done. I'm sure Damian Priest is another one potentially to win the Rumble, but I think that Finn's probably going to eliminate him and keep that story going. And
right,
Dominic Mysterio could win the Rumble. You
Dominic
never know.
could. Yeah, we got Sheamus had defeated Kaiser, Ludwig Kaiser.
Yes, yep.
But so I would assume they'll probably be in the Rumble too.
Ludwig Kaiser could win the Rumble. You know what's funny is like we name all these people, and like I said, Dominic, and some people will probably watch that and be like, "Oh, there ain't no way Dominic's going to win." There was no chance in hell Vince McMahon was going to win in '99, and he did. So like, once that happened, anything is possible at this point. Like they can really do anything to go to the Rumble.
Anything is possible in the Royal Rumble, and anybody is possible to show up. You really don't know. We could be somebody coming out of left field we don't see. You never know.
Whew, imagine the mixed reaction if Tessa Blanchard goes into the Women's Rumble.
Oh, baby. What a... Yeah, as far as the Rumble, though, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure who to put my money on at this point.
Yeah, hopefully the path is a little clearer once we get closer to it, but we're only a couple weeks away.
Everybody's saying Roman still, kind of, like, and...
I think it's too obvious.
I don't want him to win. I don't know why he would need to win if they're really doing the Roman versus the Rock thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if not, then I don't know. Then he's going back for Cody, and then and then Roman going back for Cody, but Roman's trying to be good now. Like, how's that going to work?
I don't really understand. I don't know.
We're in for a ride, but we just need to know our roles and shut our mouths and let The Rock take us for a ride, right? So
that's right. Let us know in the comments, who do you think, as of right now, your opinions can change. Who do you think is going to win the Rumble or has the best chance to win the Rumble? Let us know in the comments.
Who do I want to win the Royal Rumble? Oh, it's easy. The best in the world, the Second City Saint, the straight edge superstar, CM Punk. And then I'm going for Liv to win the Royal Rumble for the women's, to regain that championship and have that women's main event at WrestleMania.
As of right now, to go with story, I'm going to throw a crazy prediction out there and think that for the women's, I think that it's going to be a returning Asuka to challenge Rhea Ripley, Battle of the Face Paint. And in the men's, I'm going to go with ladies and gentlemen.
I deserve your gratitude for being the Royal Rumble winner.
Someone said on the internet that Ludwig Kaiser walks to the ring more like a hoe than all the women's wrestlers do. The way he scuffles.
Between him and Tiffany Stratton, they must spend a lot of time looking in the mirror, man. They must just have like a room full of mirrors. Yeah, and one above the bed, and they just must stare. Like they don't. That's how they get off.
Yeah. Ludwig Kaiser looks like he's chiseled out of clay, and Tiffany Stratton looks like a ball of clay.
Yeah. They just borrow from each other. Woo.
So that was our WWE review. Thank you so much for being a part of our community.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. We'll see what happens on SmackDown tonight. Should be an interesting show. And then Raw on Monday should be interesting to see how we're moving towards Saturday night main event and the Rumble, because we got to build towards both and kind of set up matches for both. So story's going to intertwine and see if we get any more surprises. We'll see what's going on with Pat McAfee, Corey Graves, if they cave and they put him back on or what happens. But
well, it's interesting because Pat McAfee is commentating the college football national championship this Monday, so he won't be on Raw.
So that's okay. So it's not. It doesn't have anything to do with the Corey Graves situation. All right.
Listen.
Yeah.
Ringside News, you can eat an ass because your Ringside Renaissance is where it at. We're bringing you this hot scoops, but there was also an announcement that JBL was going to be back on Raw this week. So a lot of people are thinking that JBL is going to just sit in for Pat.
Okay.
On commentary just for 1 week while he does that. I thought they could lean into it and have Corey Graves come out and just complain the whole time about not being on Netflix, but apparently that was apparently that was a shoot and not a work, because he deleted all the tweets that he was upset and kind of kiboshed the whole thing.
That's why I expected now he may be getting a little blacklisted a little bit.
You think so?
I don't know about, like, probably not to the extent of if Vince was still there and he did it, but I'd expect some type of repercussions, or like he don't run the company, he don't make the rules, so you can say whatever you want and feel how you want about it. That's just, you're just an employee and you got to do what you're told. And if you don't like it, you can leave.
There it is,
I guess, right? Yeah.
There it is. But I think a lot of people made it a lot more than it actually is. I'm sure personally he's upset about it, but like building it to this whole feud that's going on or whatever. And I think at the end of the day, it's just a big nothing burger.
Yeah. Definitely.
So what do you guys think of what's going to be the card for Saturday night's main event? Who's going to be your Royal Rumble winners? What's going to happen on Raw this coming Monday on Netflix? Let us know in the comments. Hit subscribe, hit like, share with your friends.
Yeah.
Be those people. It helps us out a lot.
Yeah. We're on the road to 10K, baby. We're almost there. We got to do we'll do something special for that 10K episode. You can bet on that. Yeah, for sure. 10K. Yeah. I gotta find an excuse to do it now. Yeah. I gotta have a way to do it, you know.
Even water finds its level. You'll figure it out.
Yes. And shout out to all the disclosure and stuff that we're waiting on. That's supposed to be released allegedly for January, and everything else. And Bob Lazar and Project Gravatar we're waiting on, and S4, the Bob Lazar story, we're waiting on. Shout out to Jeremy Corbell. Check out his series on Tubi, because Congress lied at these last congressional hearings, and we got to get to the bottom of it.
And we're gonna get to the bottom of it.
Them mother. Something going on in the sky.
I need to crack open a beer. Because we're gonna talk about this.
There's a credible threat on my life. Yeah.
I like how he pointed out that he doesn't get paid for the journalism. He has real estate, and like people saying that he's just doing this for money are stupid because he doesn't get paid for it. Like
while he drives in a Tesla Cybertruck
with a custom license plate.
UFO.
I love Jeremy Corbell so
much.
He's
so funny.
So good. Oh, shout out to Marty, man. Marty's been Marty's been hitting us up in the comments. Dude, everybody go follow Marty. He wants to make sure people are seeing his tweets. So you got to make sure you respond to him, because he feels really on an island in the X universe.
Yes.
Shout out Sam's on Wrestling, AIW podcast, Hitting the Turnbuckle, Kick Ash podcast, Sports for You, Holy Sh podcast.
Shout out to Mikey.
Oh man, Mikey's doing the thing. Chair Shot Sports is a big one. Sorry if we missed you. There's so many people. Joshy Wrestling have been following us. He's a really cool dude.
Everybody. Yeah.
Thanks to everybody that's been following along and supporting. We all support each other. We appreciate it. Yeah, and we do see you.
Yeah, we'll see you. And we'll see what happens with TikTok. Hopefully it's still up. Let's keep it going so we can all interact even more with everything. We'll be back again soon talking what happened on SmackDown tonight and Raw. And you should stay tuned. You never know when we're going to pop in or drop in or come down with that elbow drop and hit you with a quick reaction of what happened. You never know. Stay tuned. We could be on any social media platform going live at any moment, at any minute. Anybody can get it. Yeah.
I didn't know what to do for that part.
Anybody can get it. Yeah.
Anybody.
Yeah. Hit that like button. We appreciate y'all. Have a safe week. Have a good day. Have a good night. That's Pretty Deadly Jesse. And I'm Andrew. Kombat Jones. And you've been listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast. Peace.